Hello and welcome. Are you somebody looking to achieve one of the highest grades possible in GCSE Mathematics? If you are, then please continue to watch, as in this session we aim to address the topic of simplifying algebraic expressions. Now, you may remember me saying in previous videos that when we look at these most challenging topics of all, in other words, when we're looking to achieve the very highest grades possible, most often we call upon our knowledge and understanding from previous topics. Now, for this session, we will be looking at factorisation in quite some detail. But fear not, if factorisation is something that you need help with, please tune in to our video that looks at factorisation and certainly the factorisation of a quadratic expression. But for now, please continue to watch if you're somebody who's looking to achieve one of the highest grades possible in GCSE Mathematics. So if we take question 1, we're being asked to simplify the expression 3x squared minus 12x all over 6x. Now I'm going to begin by factorising. If we factorise our numerator, we're left with 3x, open brackets, x minus 4, close brackets. But that's still all over 6x. Now straight away, because we're multiplying by x in the numerator and the denominator, they will cancel. So that leaves us with 3, open brackets, x minus 4, close brackets, all over 6. Now that is simpler, but it is not simplest. Hopefully everybody can see we have 3/6 here. Well, 3/6 can be written more simply as a half, or in other words, x minus 4 all over 2. Now, as always, the initial questions start at a slightly lower level, more grade 7, but then we slowly build up the intensity to reach those grade 9 questions. So please keep watching. So let's scroll down to question 2. This time we have a quadratic in the numerator, x squared plus 5x plus 6 all over x squared plus 4x plus 3. Once again, I'm going to start by factorising both the numerator, which will be x plus 3 and x plus 2, both in brackets, all over x plus 3 and x plus 1. Again, if I take a different coloured pen here, we can see, because we're multiplying by a common term in the numerator and the denominator, they will both cancel. So that will simply leave us with x plus 2 over x plus 1. But that this time is only the first part to our answer. You may have noticed when I introduced this session, the challenge part for this was to look at restrictions. Now, our restriction is when our expression is undefined. It's what we call undefined, meaning when we're dividing by 0. So let's take our expression here. We're dividing by x plus 1. So ask yourself this: is there a value of x that will make that denominator equal 0? In other words, where the expression is undefined. And if we can, then that is our restriction. Well, something add 1 equals 0. Quite simply, x cannot equal -1. So -1 would be considered our restriction. And for does not equal, we don't need to write the words, remember. We can simply write an equal sign with a line through it. So now let's move on to question 3. Again, just increasing the level of difficulty just ever so slightly. This time, if we look at our command phrase, show that x squared minus 25 over 5 minus x can be written in the form a, open brackets, x plus b. So the word simplify isn't actually being used in this question. That will require your knowledge, your practice, your clarity and confidence in order to attempt this question. So let's look at factorising the numerator. Hopefully you'll recognise that it's the difference of squares. X plus 5 in brackets, x minus 5 in brackets, and keep in mind our denominator. Now on this occasion, it isn't straight away clear if we can cancel anything out. Nothing looks the same. However, this could be rewritten. We have x plus 5 in brackets and x minus 5 in brackets. But this denominator could be rewritten as the negative of x minus 5 in brackets. And it's at this stage we can look to simplify. We have an x minus 5 term in the numerator and an x minus 5 term in the denominator. So our answer becomes negative of x plus 5. And actually this is now written in the form that we want, but let's make it even more clear. In this particular case, a is -1. We could write the 1 there, but we tend not to when we only have 1 as our coefficient. And b equals 5. So now let's move on to the final question in this short session on simplifying algebraic fractions. Once again, we have a quadratic in both the numerator and denominator. We have x squared minus 16 all over x squared minus 8x plus 16. So let's factorise both the numerator and the denominator as our starting point. Again, we have the difference of squares in our numerator, so that could be written as x plus 4 and x minus 4, both terms in brackets once again. Our denominator could be written as x minus 4 in our first set of brackets, and x minus 4 again in our second set of brackets. Now straight away, because we have a common term in the numerator and the denominator, we can look to cancel. So that leaves our simplified algebraic fraction as x plus 4 over x minus 4. And that's the first part of the question. But again, we need to state any restrictions. Remember, what does that mean? It's where our expression is undefined because in essence, we'd be having to divide by 0. Ask yourself once again, is there a value of x that makes x minus 4 equal 0? Well, yes, there is, the value of 4. So our restriction is x cannot equal 4. Remember, if you want further questions to practice on this topic, please check out our resources, for which there is always an accompanying video to show how we work those solutions out too. But for now, well done, thank you for watching, and good luck in your quest for achieving one of the very highest grades in GCSE Maths.